Let's roll.
JG, Zech McPhearson has kind of really showed up, at least to us, getting his hands on the football. What have you seen from him early in camp?
Yeah, Zach's doing a good job. He's taking the coaching points and applying them on the field day to day. And a lot of times that's hard for rookies, especially out there. There's a lot going on with those guys. But he's improving every day, just like the entire group is, and we're excited about all those guys.
Coming out of a conference, an offensive-minded conference, when you're scouting guys like that coming out of college, is it tough?
No, because I think we look for, first of all, character is the first thing, and he had the character that we're looking for, and then he had the skill set that we're looking for. So, everybody plays a different brand of ball in college, it seems, but it's our scouts do a really good job of identifying, hey, talking with the coaches, a collaborative effort. What does this guy have to have in his makeup and in his skill set that will allow him to be successful coming to the Philadelphia Eagles? And I think our personnel side has done a really good job with that.
What's the challenge for Davion now, as far as a kid who hasn't played a ton of football, until he gets back? What's the challenge for him?
Yeah, just staying mentally engaged, which he's 100% mentally engaged. Meets with Coach Rowles every morning on his own. That's good to see because we know that he loves ball. But the challenge is, the best learning we feel is reps out there and in preseason games. I truly feel like, you can walk it, talk it, you can show it in the meeting room, but until they get on the grass and perform and honestly make mistakes, that's the best form of learning. When they make a mistake, all right, the coaches get with them, here's why you made that mistake, tell me about your thought process, and then they kind of self-correct. And that's what we like to see. All of our guys have done a really good job, in my opinion, of when we make a mistake, that we're correcting so we're getting better. And that goes with, too, like if the guy in front of you makes a mistake and the coach corrects it, when you go out there, you really don't want to make that same mistake. So we're doing a good job. The coaches are doing a really good job with that.
We've seen Milton now inside and outside quite a bit. What are the advantages at each spot for him?
I would think, Dave, to answer that, I said it. I think I said it in the spring, was motor and mean. The advantages is we get to accentuate his skill set a little bit, and it's a little bit matchup driven. So we want to see him play on the center, play on guards, play on tackles, and we're still kind of figuring out, all of our guys, but especially Milton, we're figuring out what best suits him so he can be successful.
When you're going through the process of evaluating the depth chart, maybe changes you want to make going into practice, is there like a time when you are trying to get out of the day-to-day and sort of take a step back and look at the big picture and say, okay, we're a week in now, these are the changes we want to make?
Yeah, as a coaching staff, we have a pretty tight plan of when we do those things. As far as myself, I'll wait 4 days and then take a look at all 4 days on our day off and then talk with the position coaches about, hey, all right, now this was our plan. Let's stick with the plan or let's change the plan. So it's not just, acute day-to-day, it's chronic over the long term. And we know however many days we got to get ready to actually play a game, 8 days to play a preseason game, and then ultimately week 1. But they do have some time before that needs to happen.
What's it like to have someone like Brandon Graham, who after 12 years still has all this energy for every single practice?
Yeah. He's been a joy to be around. He's one of those guys, as a vet that's played at a high level, that you want on your defense. And his energy is infectious, and it bleeds into that whole room. And that whole room does a really good job with their energy, as you guys see that. But we know that our defense knows that we want to play a certain way. And day one, I think I talked to him. I'm not a big sign guy, a big saying guy. I don't give motivational speeches. But the one thing that we put up was sustained positive enthusiasm. Anyone can go do it for a day, but can you do it over 4 days, 8 days, 6 weeks, 8 weeks? And they've responded to that challenge very well.
So important. You've seen it in the NFL over the last couple of decades, more split safeties, and box and three, defined roles. Where does someone like Kayvon Wallace, who's spent a lot more time closer to the line in college, where does he fit in terms of that type of role?
Yeah, he's doing a really good job. His skill set, even though he played that in college, he's proven that he can play in the deep part of the field. And he's doing a really good job. All our safeties are doing a really good job with understanding how they fit within the call and then understanding how they can play free and make some plays. So, Kayvon's doing a really good job of what we're asking him executing.
As far as figuring out what guys can do, it looked like yesterday you had Joe Ostman and Jannard Avery playing in, backing off the linebacker, covering guys. I mean, how do you see their skill sets fitting in here?
Yeah, like I said a week ago or whatever, we're still defining that role. And a lot of times you guys will see we put those guys on purpose in tough spots. So, okay, this guy does this, and this really well. Okay, we need to improve this and this. So let's make sure we put him in those spots. So I think those guys are doing a really good job with what we're asking them to do. And you see they're functioning at a high level right now.
Linebackers as a whole, JG, especially Mike and Will, it seems like you're rotating a lot there, getting people first team reps. What have you learned about that group?
That they can all play together. That's one of the reasons why we do that is there's a comfort zone with certain guys that when they look next to them, they know who's going to be next to them. And right now we do not want them in that comfort zone. Two reasons is that everybody has to be able to think and communicate. Second reason is in a game when somebody gets hurt, you're not going to have a comfort zone all the time. So that's why we do that, is to see the different combinations. Hey, this guy's playing Mike this period, then he goes and plays Will, but he's playing Will with this Mike, and then the next period he's playing Will with this other Mike. So we do that. That's planned out, and we do that on purpose.
Broader question: do you want to have a three-down linebacker, a top two, a top three, or do you expect that to change throughout a game?
That will be dependent on game plan, honestly, and what we have to defend and what our players can do. So, right now in camp, we're kind of throwing it all at them, and then we'll start to pare down as we get closer to game day.
A week in training camp, what have you learned about your defense?
That we have a bunch of good guys, and they care. They really care, and it's a good thing.
How is that rotation between Barnett and Sweat making them better? Whether it's an open competition or not, it seems like they're both kind of at their peak right now. Like they're performing very well.
Yeah, they're both playing real well. It's just like the linebackers. We want those guys playing certain spots with different people, and they're just like everybody. They're maximizing their reps, and we're still figuring out what each of those guys can do. And it's good to see both of those guys out there playing.
Hey, JG, these practices have been shorter than I guess what we're used to seeing in other training camps. What's your guys' philosophy of that, and how do you make sure you get the work done that you need to get done in a short period of time?
Yes, I would say we're in constant communication with the entire staff. I mean, not just the coaching staff, with the strength staff and with the medical. And Coach Sirianni really takes the lead with that, and he's preached to those guys. Everything we do is to 1% better every day and keep them healthy. So, that plan is put in place, and not to say that it doesn't adjust day by day, week by week, but we feel good that we're getting the work that we need to improve our guys and figure our guys out, and then also keeping them healthy.
Who among the young guys would you say has kind of stood out the most through the first week or so?
Out of the rookies, they're all doing a good job. I mean, they really are. I mean, I wouldn't single a guy out one way or the other. I think they're all doing a good job, improving daily, maximizing their reps, putting their head down and working, and learning from the vets. Again, the vets are, I tell those guys, they're an open book as far as go pick that guy's brain because he knows. He knows. So I think they're all doing a really good job.
Zach says that he studies Darius Slay when he's on the sideline. If there's something that Zach could take away from Darius' game, what would you want that to be?
I would say his confidence. that position out there, it's a lonely world. We use the analogy they're on the freeway, and I think that one of the best attributes that Slay has is he plays very confident and he has a next play mentality. And it's going to happen. I tell our guys all the time, you're going to get beat at times, but how do you respond and what's your mental self-talk when you get back in the huddle and then line up again? And that's where Slay, as he's obviously performed at a very high level, he has that.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.